This is London with Bitcoin Spike. Let's go through the details today. We're going to live stream Ape, the new board. What is it? Ape Yacht Club coin. A lot of price action. Let's go through that, and also Bitcoin, of course. Board Ape, the Ape coin, up 150% since the bottom of this nice bullish feature. Nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And on the right-hand side, you're going to see, of course, the mainstay of the channel. You're going to see Bitcoin. We'll go through each of these. I let out some videos to the community so that we could kind of cover the details, and we'll cover these each specifically as we go through the evening. So, got some good information in terms of the trades. Want to let you guys know, huge day for VIP on the back. Absolutely just nailing some of these trades. Want to shout out to Luke. Want to shout out to Pathfinder. Want to shout out to Slim in terms of the action that we had. As you can see here, the back room's just full of incredible technicals, waves really going off. Brought that earlier to VIP. Just step-by-step action in terms of the price action, I'd say, on Bitcoin. The trades just going, just an exciting day. People nailing the trades at the top, picking up at the bottom. You guys know, buy it, support, sell it, resistance, trade your patterns, and hit your targets. This is London Bitcoin Spike. You all know, former financial professional, but not financial advice. Thanks for hitting the like button. Let me know who is in the chat. Would appreciate knowing that. Our main contributor, shout out Angel number 1 VIP. How are you, brother? Hope you're having a good weekend. Hoping everyone is having a good weekend. I'm going to frame on the left Ape so we can go through the details as the price action does occur. Okay, we have had a push already on a descending triangle. I put a video out already on the descending triangle, downward potential on the descending triangle. It's already pushed, I'd say, at least once in here to the next level. We're on this kind of I'd say the first was a fake out, a pretty nice looking, pardon me, bull flag that did push. We'll go through the requirements for the technical analytics, etc. Hope you guys are having a good start to your weekend. We got started a little bit late, so depending on how many people need to rewatch this, we may keep it short, or if people show up, we may just allow ourselves to go for a while tonight, see what's going on. It is the weekend, and Ape is up and running. Shouldn't be too much institutional interference with Ape. So in terms of Ape, real important right now, we're looking at an inverse head and shoulders. Did not cover that because it was not complete yet in the primary video that I let out. I want to let you guys know, VIP are top level of membership, and I am VIP. Okay, that's just the real easy truth right there. And if you are VIP, welcome. I want to say welcome to VIP. I'll put this in the chat so we can hang out a little bit tonight and go through the technicals. I'm going to put Ape. It was a nice profit-producing coin. The nice thing about Ape is it's already trading on leverage, which is a big deal. We're excited to see coins that are brand new trading on leverage. Just a big deal. Ape on the left, okay, looking like an inverse head and shoulder could be playing. We're going to stream this live because I want you guys to essentially have the trade right in front of you, to the extent that this can be a profitable evening for you guys. That is my inclination. That is my, there we go, boom. Anyone hit the short on the, from the video? From the warning on the video, anybody hit the short on Bitcoin? Currently pouring down. Let's look at, not really pouring down, but down just a touch, down 0.47%. Anyone who hit that specific short after my video, congratulations to anybody who I issued kind of a warning right in this level as we were up against a resistance. We'll go through the details there. Let's cruise over to it just so we pick up the nature of the warning. Was real easy, and you guys knew that. It was just a cross trend line that had not been identified thus far by the overall market. In my, I don't know, just say based upon my understanding of the overall market, it's not a line that people are going to pick up. So I'm glad that we picked that up. Let's just take a look at the support to resistance to support. Let's go on the daily real quickly for Bitcoin. Hope you guys are having a good start to your weekend. This is London, and we will be going through the technicals for a minute, down about half a point. Congrats to anybody who was in a short after my video. You have made money. Congratulations. That's the idea. We don't trade just for fun. We trade for profits. So in terms of this specific line here on Bitcoin, this line in and around the $42,000 mark, it could be a natural kind of rounded, you could say, level or threshold to meet. However, it's really clearly scripted within the understanding here that on the daily we're looking at the support, right? The support to the resistance, this specific cross trend line. I'm going to change the color of this just a second. Let's just make this green. I think it blends in a little bit better, but that specified and it's not a big pour down right now, but the implications are pretty big. We'll watch it here in a second on a closer time frame. But the support to the resistance, 1, 2, 3 strong hits. 1, 2, 3 strong hits on the daily. That's within the last, and look at it, it's been respected 3 times over the preceding 71 days. So it's not just a brand new trend line. It's been in effect for a while. There we go. Slim, what's up, brother? Slim, BTC broke a bit. Let's check that out real quickly. Anyone who picked up on the warning video that I did, it was timely. Hope you guys got that short together. Bam. If so, you're in the money, particularly where you may have started it from in that descending triangle. So Slim, bam. VIP, he and Pathfinder are in the back booking trades. I know that Craig is in the back. Craig's one of the first ones to dig into Fibonacci's. I love to see that. Craig's a relatively new VIP, and he's killing it. So yeah, the big news for me is that I am VIP now. I want to let you guys know I'm VIP. I went ahead and joined my own channel. I hadn't done that in the past, but I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do that. That just feels kind of right. I'm telling everyone else to join. It's like I wanted to join. When I thought about it, because some people wouldn't get a badge, just so you know, like they wouldn't get a badge. They wanted to hang out in the rooms, get all the signals or anything else, to be part of the crew. And I'm like, you know, why won't they get a badge, man? I was like, I want a badge. I just thought about it. I was like, yeah, I want a badge. That's it. I want a badge. So now I have a badge too. So I'm excited about that. I was like, it was like zero questions. I was like, of course I'm going to get a badge. It's cool. So I don't understand people who don't want to trade or don't want to, I don't know, maybe it's intimidating for some people, not the VIP part, but the top traders having Angel at top, you know, in terms of like he got in Bitcoin, $7.79. We know that. And maybe that's, I guess that's intimidating for some people. For us, that's a good entry. That's what we want. We want to recreate those types of events to the degree that we can. We want to recreate that type of success. We don't want to like shy from it. That's not what we want to get involved in. Like we don't want to, you know, it's not something to stay away from. No. In terms of Ape, let's take a look at Ape real quickly as BTC pours down. Had a warning video on Ape as well. Looks like we had an inverse head and shoulder. Still could hold. I did let VIP in the back know. What I said is it's a new coin. I would expect it to be full of some surprises. So hopefully that was taken into context somewhat. Still not done with this level particularly. We can go to some different charts to see whether or not we expect that to pick up per se. We have let me get rid of this. So we're watching just essentially the pour down on the market and the potential pour down. I'd say just a snap, kind of a quick break in the market. But the implications are big as you look at the right-hand side of your screen. Always, this looks best on a big screen TV, guys. Just it looks best on a big screen TV, I promise. Okay. In terms of the nice kind of recoupment we're seeing there on BTC, huh? Did you guys book that short? Hopefully you didn't just hop into it right then. Did you see that? Let's go back into BTC. What a nice little juke, huh? Nice move, BTC. Nice move. Where did it go down to? Let's check this out. Nice move down to, if we raise, very interesting on the on our framework here. If we raise the specific, that may cause Ape to pick up. Let's watch this, guys. Very interesting. As we watch the nice move. And welcome to Bitcoin. This is it, huh? That's on the, currently we're looking at the 5 minute. Let's look at the 1 minute, see what it did to the charts. There we go. Yeah, that's not exactly kind, but Bitcoin isn't paid to be kind, is it? Not at all. Nice move. In terms of the target, buy it, support, sell it, resistance, play your targets, right? Trade your targets and hit your play your patterns, pardon me, play your patterns. This specific pattern, but hit your targets. What just happened? We broke down out of a descending triangle. Nice to see, tell you the truth. Nice to see total juke. In terms of that, maybe some, I don't know if some VIP may have, I'll tell you, either booked a short, hopefully not gotten into a short immediately then, but the confluence, the necessity that we always do the buy and support, sell at resistance, right? We trade our patterns and we hit our targets. Great example of the need to hit at the 50% retracement. Now, the 50% right now, that 5.0 retracement is a variable level, which makes that tough. Okay, I talk frequently about, and what a great position now in terms of I'd say just demonstrative that we're looking at. What a great demonstrative, because we're in a bearish pattern. Anyone who just got soaked up into a brand new short, Yeah, welcome to Bitcoin. Ethereum's in an interesting position right now. Looking at Ethereum, I'm looking at it like how many people are going to go hugely large right now and just get kind of whipsawed. As we would look at the pour down, we have a few different, I'd say, a few variations of the and a great reminder never to go too heavy, right? Because Bitcoin is known for that. Very rarely do we catch that just on live stream, huh? An absolute pour down and failure of a pattern, just right back up inside like it never happened. You want to know where your variable, and that actually may have helped the overall patterning. We'll take a look at that. But where do your variable candle wicks come from? Exactly from instances like that. Very interesting. So as we would look at it, if we go ahead from the lines, okay, if we go from the lines, those would be just some standardized Fibonacci's I talk all the time about, and someone must have had some good orders at that 50% retracement. As I talk about from the lines, then also kind of the secondary option here would be right at the candle wicks. So you're gonna have a variety of, not too many, and you can just stick to your guns in terms of your own targets if you have a preference. The market kind of changes its own preference, so it's not always easy to just say, okay, today, it's always to the candle wicks. In the back, on a quick draw basis, a lot of times I'll just draw it to the wick or to the lines and assume that traders are making the necessary adjustments there. Ape on the left, just so you understand, this is going to be a live stream for Ape. Inverse head and shoulder currently. Smash the like button if you're just getting in. This is London with Bitcoin spike. We have traded Ape over the last 24 to almost 48 hours now. So 24 to 36, I'd say. And we're watching Ape try and maintain this reversal pattern amidst this bearish pattern, this descending line of resistance that's faked out one time with a decent bull flag in the midst of it. Right, we were tucked back in through this area, and on the breakout, we had a bull flag, which failed. So that was a push in this direction. All right, now we have another breakout, potential fake out on the descending triangle. This is what makes descending triangles difficult, is that they are renowned for causing problems with bulls, with traders, just so you understand. And that's why they're inherently bearish, although they can operate as a continuation pattern in some rare circumstances. It really takes quite a coin or as I don't know, it's quite a situation to really power through and beat an ascending triangle to the upside. We see it without a doubt. Bitcoin can do it. Certain strong coins can do it. It's just it's contraindicated. It's not within I'd say the scope of probability that they would just continue as they would operate as a continuation pattern. So looking at Ape, $14.17. Let's take a look at it. I just wanted to live stream and include it because it's a new coin with kind of a phenomenal story behind it. And from Dogecoin to SHIB, you guys know that we will stream and we will trade any phenomenal type coin, anything that is hitting the market. We want that on our record that VIP we're trading. Shout out to, I believe it was Pathfinder VIP, who got an entry at $7 on Ape, which is a beautiful entry. Looking at the $7 down through this level in here. Congratulations, VIP are trading. I love to have that, and it's cool to be VIP. Have to say, of all this time I've been running the VIP club, right, etc., the trading club, and working. I don't know, just trying to bring the best of trading to the VIP. And now I can say, yeah, and I'm a VIP too. So that's pretty cool. I went ahead and joined. Maybe I should have a long time ago, but it was just it wasn't indicated, as the traders would understand. It just wasn't indicated. I just wanted to see, like, what was the big deal? It's like I asked some people in the back, beforehand. They got a little too comfortable or started taking stuff out of the room or whatnot. I'm like, can you get a badge? And it was like this big sticking point. I'm like, can you get a badge? And so I thought about, I'm asking everyone to get a badge. Like, why don't I get a badge? And I'm like, I'm really happy to get a badge. I was excited about it. So just to reframe that, it's our top level of membership. You can, and that's that green badge or that teal badge you see next to Slim. So in the chats, just lets us know you belong here. There's Basecamp as well if you guys want to join. It's like a couple of bucks a month or something like that for Basecamp. We may upgrade that a little bit. Maybe we will have I tell you the truth, I love Bitcoin. We love trading Bitcoin currently in a descending triangle. That's the forte of the group. I never want to miss a big move on Bitcoin. I just don't. If I'm trading Ape, for instance, I literally am constantly back and forth between Ape. If Ape starts to move, I'm almost tempted to go to Bitcoin beforehand, just to see if the market's going to pull a surprise move on BTC, etc. We have a good record history. Me personally, not as much as Angel, top contributor, $58,000+ in terms of overall contribution, leading VPAC in terms of 2022 and building VIP. And we're going to get some momentum from the market. I'm going to tell you that we're going to get some momentum from the market. It's going to be exciting, and we're all going to know the people who really stuck behind and built and continue to build the #1 trading group in crypto. And it's just, I say that Angel speaks volumes as to that fact, having been invested in Bitcoin since $7.79 and $7.79. So it's going to be cool to look back at and say, yeah, this group of guys, these were the solid guys from the get-go. So it's nice to have you guys. I appreciate you very much. Nice to be VIP, without a doubt. So, and thank you, Angel. Much obliged. As we would, or just very thankful. I'll tell you that Waves has been super strong, like extremely strong. One trying to pick up at that secondary. Would that be golden pocket hit? Phantom is kind of down. It's low. It's getting low right now. AVAX is really one of the more powerful coins for 2020 in terms of the potential for its market dominance to really impact in 2022. I would recommend just taking a look at that chart, see whether or not you agree or disagree with me in terms of the market dominance for AVAX. Hugely important. ADA is low. It could go lower. It is low. I recommend that anyone look back through its incipiency, the very beginning of ADA, see how low it's been since it originated, went to $1.50 or so. How low did it go before this 2021 kind of a spike that it went through? So I encourage you to do that. Atom Cosmos, great coin. I want to review that real quickly because I want to know exactly where it is right now. It experienced a double top, essentially, which could be put into the framework of an ascending triangle, right? One of the best looking charts, reason I want to look at it in terms of this, one of the best, potentially, I'd say one of the best looking charts in crypto right now. If we can hold this line of support, and I will go to Cosmos specifically because it is one of the potentially best looking charts right now in crypto. That nature of the ascending triangle is not shared nor common amongst many coins right now that could hold this line and continue to the upside. So when I talk about AVAX even, and the potential for it to do well in 2022, Cosmos is in a league of its own, assuming this line can hold. Okay, so that's just a big deal. Matic, we'd like to see Matic, is a similar situation right now that we'd like to see Matic pick up soon. We would definitely like Matic to not delve into a kind of a what we say, just a kind of a barely the awareness of the pickup of buyers. Like I don't want a nearly flat line with Matic. I want it to be aggressively up to the tune that the buyers are stepping in on Matic. We have a great history with Matic here. And what else we got? Let's see. Just wanted to mention a few. Doge down and out, but it ain't over. I'll tell you that much. And getting down into, I just cannot wait. Getting down into my core acquisition levels. Beautiful. And from the get-go on Doge, I want to let you guys know, we were there telling people don't ever be overexposed at any higher price. You know that. Heavy reserve capital available for the lower levels. Core acquisition down on through 5-6 cents down on through the base levels of Doge. We'll look forward to seeing the next pricing cycle of Doge. And when it does occur, we want to stream it and trade it, and I want to be a part of the next 10x that it throws the market, 5x, 10x, whatever it may do, 2 10x opportunities in 2021. Just a huge moving coin. Sheeb is right on the tail end cusp of Doge in terms of familiarity here. She is getting low. Can she go as low as Doge? The people in Sheeb would say, I don't think that's going to happen. In terms of as comparatively low, however, she's pushing the 78% again, 78% discount from the all-time high. We brought all this information and these trades to the community. I'm really glad about that. And the first 2x that Sheeb had brought it to the VIP. That was the first 2x that we had. So very nice. Let me get a sip of coffee. 1 second. So I want to hear from the VIP. I want to hear what you guys are trading. What a juke fake out. Man, did you guys bite? I did not bite on the short. I don't know that you guys did or did not. I want to say that Ape did the same to traders here just a moment ago. So we're in a catchy market. If you got position here, if you're overexposed, that's our mantra here. Don't ever be overexposed at any higher price. Always be able, or lower price, depending upon whether or not you're long or short. Be willing to, always willing and able to cover your initial position with with additional cash. That's just the name of the game. Definitely makes the difference between some people having a really bad year or not, right? So we're having a really great year. Luna is part of that really great year. We'd like to see Luna picking up soon. Luna is in a formation, particularly right now, that it would make sense for it to continue to pick up given this line of support that it has caught thus far. We'd like to see that reinforced potentially with another hit. Would be nice to see buyers really complete this and or were to formulate, I'd like to see some sort of a bullish pattern. It can make it can make a measured move if it chooses to, which if it can complete, and I just tell you, Luna has a history of getting going, and when it gets going, you just better stand back. It's like a locomotive. It really, really likes to get going. You who trade quite a bit, you know that. You know we're very familiar to Luna from live streaming and providing the target $4.60 in 2021. Very well done. Mana, Sand, Gala. Gala seems to be the winner, right, in terms of price action, though not in terms of overall price. Heavier retracement, higher volatility. That is fine with us. A few other names we're looking at. Dot for sure. Dot is one that has been very familiar to our group. Angel, the kind of the chief. I'll say the chief, and this is an old Dot chart I have. The chief of the VIP. I'll say that in terms of his affinity for Dot. He enjoys trading it, and if you guys know the price action on Dot, it's a challenging coin to trade. He enjoys the challenge, and he likes to beat the challenge. He likes to beat the market. That alpha we always talk about in terms of just that alpha is the percentage by which you beat the market, right? So he's fond of trading Dot, and he's expressed that much to us that he's heavily into it. We're excited to be able to feature it to the community, etc. And this recent, just look at Dot on the right-hand side. We'll get back to BTC in 2 seconds. Got an eye on the price. This specific bull flag, in terms of the different time frames, we can go through it, but the move to the upside, downward sloping channel has pushed into a framework of a potential ascending triangle, a few different patterns as you look from the candle wicks to the specified line charts on the different time frames. 2022 has been the year to check all of your time frames and to check without a doubt your candle wicks and your candles on different time frames. Unfortunately, that has been just required to make extra sure, which normally goes without saying you would need to. We take a little bit of extra precaution in terms of that. So looking at an interesting feature, I think everyone would agree, in terms of Dot on the right-hand side and Ape. Here we go. Trying to potentially formulate some bearish patterning. Not bearish. I say amidst the bearish patterning, I should say. We'll go full focus. I'm not looking at 2 or 3 coins at the same time. But amidst the bearish configuration here, the descending line of resistance, okay, which is already pushed one time, okay, the flat support, we have that as a bearish indication on the market. Anytime you see that at the top of, let's say, a wave formation, a potential 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, looking at the primary, depending upon the exchange that you're on, you may have different patterns that you're actually looking at as opposed to the ones that we have on the screen. Looking at this specified lower pattern, close to a descending triangle, a little bit angled but close. Okay, a wedge will be indicated, I think, on certain I'd say exchanges, etc. We noted a coil or a symmetrical triangle as well. Okay, there were so many pumps on Ape. It was just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so those were miniaturized in terms of, I would say, compressed kind of mini cycles that I was running through, bullish formations or miniature waves, mini waves that I was running through to get through a larger position here, or a larger pattern formation here. that was crucial. And anytime you see kind of a compressed pattern that works up like a bull flag, etc., in different time frames will show these differently. But anytime you see that, they turn into a zigzag. They turn into just essentially a pause in the price action to allow for some consolidation and additional orders to get in, both in terms of time and a bit of a discount in price. They have their purpose, right? So looking at like the hour and 15 minutes it took to accomplish that, or looking at the, let's say, the 2 hours or so it took to accomplish this. Just as I know that many NFT owners, Bored Ape Yacht Club, that many of the owners liquidated initially and made incredible amounts of money. That could only happen so fast. Even though it occurred quickly, you can see, even though it did occur quickly, it wasn't just boom, all at once. It did occur over a period of time since its launch. So it's worth talking about that hour and 1 minute. It's worth talking about on the way up that there is a delay function in terms of the operation of the market. Not to impute or imply any manipulation, etc., but just to talk about the basic function of the market. We have price action and we have time intervals. That's the basic. That is what we deal with. That's how we trade, over time intervals and based on price action. So those are just two variables that we must deal with. So some of the formation, as these as these would go up, have the function of serving a bit of time, a delay, potentially to let people in a trade or in a new coin or otherwise. And I think that's fair enough to just state that mere fact that some of these may have just been an opportunity for some people to get involved, kind of delays in the process before it were to just shoot down and shoot up. A lot of people have different schedules, etc., so it makes sense for additional people to participate. Not that they have the handbrake on Ape. If you will recall, it's an interesting discussion a bit in terms of as we look at this. Let me go ahead and go back to, you guys note that on dot. Not a bad formation there in terms of ascending triangle. So looking at, let's get to BTC on the right, and we'll dig back into the. I want to know who booked that short. That was a mean small short. If you guys watched the beginning of the stream, we had BTC on the right hand side. It just poured down out of this specific, and not greatly, but it broke the barrier here, the threshold, the support, the flat support line. It broke that and headed down to this 50% retracement. Just boom. And so it looked like a breakdown, attracted a lot of shorts at that point. We didn't bite, but it looked like it was I don't know, it's being Bitcoin right now. So in terms of that, we're still in a bearish feature, but the people who may have gotten into a short here and recovered back into the triangulation, they're just sitting there being like, of course you're going to keep me up later here. That's the essentials. Like, it could have just gone. We could have booked a trade. I know the feeling where it's like, okay, great. Now I'm in a bearish pattern, and now I'll probably be up for 3 or 4 or 5 more hours watching my trade. A lot of times that happens. They'll get you hooked into it, and then they'll take a little intermission while you rethink your trade and your position, etc. Just not unheard of at all. So looking at the framework, we have a bullish pattern potentially on the left amidst the bearish considerations of a descending triangle. That bullish pattern on Ape, and I just wanted to stream about it because a lot of people did well, a lot of VIPs, etc. Community members, I'm sure, and subscribers, I'm sure you did well on Ape. It had so much price action. Just to review it, what was it, over 150%? 150%. We'll go through the details here, but looking at the overall price action, 40% thereabouts. Yeah, a little bit beyond that. So in terms of 193 to be exact, if you really caught the low of the candle wick, almost a 200% move, and I can make that exact, but it may be difficult to catch on this. About 195 to 197 potentially % move in a short period of time in that first day. Impressive price action. It has a community. It has most of the trappings like a utility. It's extremely popularized, and to the extent that it has, I say that it represents value to the overall community or utility. Definitely with the dev team, they definitely have a great dev team. Then we are excited about focusing on it, not full time, but I'd say at least part-time, at least to the extent that that it makes sense for us to spend a bit of time on it. So looking at the formation here, just curious as to who all has taken a trade, who all has not. It just reminded VIP in the back, I'm like, just be careful, because this is a new coin and it could really be unpredictable. So seeing this breakout of the inverse head and shoulders, a reversal pattern, the left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder, and just to cover that again, a head and shoulders is real easy, right? You guys know this, but it is just a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. It is literally that. It's a studied technical pattern, and that's just literally what the inverse head and shoulders is in reverse. So the head and shoulders would serve as a top. Okay, the inverse head and shoulders ideally would serve as a reversal feature, and we may be looking at something else on, and this is really going to push anyone who may be long on within this framework on Ape. We'll take a look at this specific line of resistance, flat top, brought down into the preceding low here. If buyers, okay, if the buyers can step in, and it's not a perfectly framed flat top, we would prefer a perfectly flat top to accomplish our ascending triangle. To the extent that we have an ascending triangle, or could build the framework of an ascending triangle, it would be impressive, because that's one of the more bullish patterns that we can achieve. You all know that. So to put that squarely within the framework of a descending line of resistance, an inability, all I'll say right now is an inability of buyers to push the price up above the preceding high, right? So we have challenged that notion here somewhat, not to the point of a bullish swing failure. That would be one to the upside, right? In terms of the ability to, if we were in a bearish pattern going down, we would constitute a swing failure. If this were a bearish pattern, we would constitute a swing failure in the direction of the bulls, right? So we would, we welcome a higher high. I wanted to definitely clarify as well with all of you, I'm not pushing for a lower price on Ape. I'm not pushing for a lower price on BTC. I don't lead my trades in terms of, I don't publish something leading and then, and take my position and try and make it right. I don't, I'm not of that caliber in terms of that's just not what I'm going to do. That's not cool. It's beyond not cool. It's just not going to work if you try to do it. It's just like people are going to buy what they want to buy. Generally, it's good to kind of let them know about the technicals, and I just tell you, it's one reason we focus on New York Institute of Finance, like the actual, real, credentials on Wall Street, et cetera, in terms of what they have there. They do go to school at New York Institute of Finance, so I go through a lot of their specified materials. I just do. I find it very important to focus on the bedrock technical analysis. That prevents any kind of questions like that in terms of leading the audience or misleading them. It's just, no, we're going to focus on TA. However it comes down the pipe, and whatever position you have or I have, it's just let's roll with it. I'm happy to I have a funny joke tonight. I'll keep that between me and the VIP. But if if there's ever any disagreement, if someone watches something says I disagree with that, London, I think it should be this way or that way. What do you think about this specific angle or something like that? Well, I'm more than happy to review that and review my own work and to include that into the entirety of even what all is presented. If you are kind enough in discussing such with me, I'm happy to elaborate on your efforts with me or with VIP to I guess enhance the overall trade experience for the traders in crypto. It's important, and I think that does not go without saying. So I will go ahead and say it just like I did. So inverse head and shoulder would be nice. We have kind of a double flare here, just this specific, and we'll just talk about some symmetry here on Ape in terms of the price feature. If you would look at a typical head and shoulders or an inverse head and shoulders, you typically would have one shoulder. This is kind of has a double left shoulder. Now we have like a double right shoulder. To the extent that is permissible within the context of a textbook inverse head and shoulders, absolutely it is. That's not a disqualifier at all. In terms of if the price were to work its way up here, we would still have a classic head and shoulders inverse, which would operate as a reversal to the upside. The odds are not in favor of it, but it's a new coin. It's phenomenally popularized in terms of the NFT brand Bored Ape Yacht Club. And yeah, it looks like they've done a pretty cool job in terms of their overall coin. I think it's cleanly done. They've put some attention to it, and the fact that they just broadly swept all of the exchanges cannot be understated. Just really phenomenally put together in terms of their launch. Just tier 1 launch. So I'll be interested to see what all Ape does, how it decides to cycle. You all, you can appreciate that. It's just that's hugely important as we would look at how overall it may perform. Is like, how did it start? And it has started with an absolute bang in the market. Just really impressive. I know there were a lot of allocations beforehand to the NFT owners, but it's just really nice to see a coin that takes the whole market, the majority of the exchanges by storm. Bam. No, question. Well, we want to be listed on this exchange. We want to be listed on this. It's just like it. And I don't know the extent of the work that went on behind it, but it just very, very impressive. I think you guys will agree. It's a very impressive effort and accomplishment by the Bored Ape Yacht Club. Let's just see in terms of for the Web3 economy, the Ape Foundation. I guess we give credit to the Ape Foundation. So yeah, nicely done. If you guys have looked at this, just looks clean. Looks almost a little bit like programming code, but it's still smoothly done. A little bit of graphics and animation in the background with some lights going. Nothing too fancy, but it looks like they know what they're doing. Clearly they do. So that's impressive. We'll state that for the record. In terms of, I discussed in the stream or in the video just a bit, and you can just see very interestingly while we take a break from Ape, looking at this level of resistance to resistance in terms of this rising wedge. Just reminder, we are up against this specified trend line, cross trend line. You see the resistance to support, the resistance to attempted support and failure. And now we're back at a level of potential resistance, a cross trend line. We can take this further over here and see the levels of interaction previously as well, with a clear strike of support to attempted, I'd say, resistance and support, more likely support, which failed. And the entirety of this could be seen as an attempt at support, which failed. But these are more specifically exact. As you look at the 30-minute time frame, the resistance to the support, right, the failure. Then small interactions here in terms of support to resistance, an attempted support with failure. And so that specified line has been, and that line right at the price of 41,785, thereabouts, 42, just say 42,000, has been hugely well respected, and well respected in a very serious regard, to the extent that we technically have to recognize it. It's not an option if we want to. Well, I prefer not to. You say, well, London, I prefer not to focus on cross trend lines. Well, it's there technically. So to the extent that you prefer to or not, it's technically going to be recognized by the market. It is part of the market right now. So in terms of this sideways grind here, this particularly the bull flag feature here of the channel, okay, given the amplitude here, it was a very kind of an extended, I covered this, and I'll slow down a bit for the VIP, everybody watching now, but the extent to which this moved to the upside in this extended channel here, right, the extended channel was maybe just a heads up for us, and I'll look at Luna in just a second, but a real clear signal for us that something else might be going on, because with the amplitude, and you can measure the amplitude with the specific candle wicks, it's going to get a little bit more reasonable looking at the candle wicks, but on a lot of the line charts, we just had kind of an abbreviated flagpole. You know that. The abbreviated flagpole was carried up, right, more in line with the candle wicks, but as we saw, a little bit of an abbreviation, or even still a bit out of sorts with the ratio between the flagpole on the candle wicks, right, to the specified channel formation. We would prefer, let's see here, let me find some room here on the right. We would always prefer to have really nice proportions in terms of our bull flags. a bull flag that looks something like this, right? Something along the lines of, nice clear move to the upside and a proportional, somewhat of a proportional, flag, a consolidation in a downward sloping channel, always downward sloping, cutting against the trend, and not really, really extended. The further that this extends down in terms of a bull flag, it should be an indication that something else may be going on. Okay, and I can bring up BTC right now. We can also discuss, let's see if I can bring up Luna just briefly and talk about what Luna did. It was really interesting with Luna. Luna pulled off a very similar, real extended, and let's go into the hourly on Luna. A very extended flag here with not much of a run-up, a breach, and then a real strong, extended, I'd say a real extended, we call it just a channel formation to the downside. And yeah, if you're just tuning in, this is London. Appreciate you guys. We're going through a few coins. We have Ape on the left looking at a potential ascending triangle, okay, after a failed inverse head and shoulders. Okay, currently the price is $14.54. Congratulations to anyone who got in below and is looking for higher prices. We have more of a macro consideration on the 5-minute and I'd say on the 30-minute as well. We are combating a descending triangle. Looks like we've broken out of that, and we're looking for some momentum to the upside. We have a flat top on the 30-minute, which is indicative of a potential ascending triangle. So we do have some hope in addition to this inverted head and shoulders, a bullish reversal, left shoulder head, right shoulder. Potentially, if we can get, really we had that right shoulder on the lower time frames. It's clearly expressed. So VIP and I were looking at this along when it did break out, and then it did fake out. So to the extent that is, I don't know, any indication of the weakness of buyers, they had the opportunity to push it up. Here it would have been a nice move to the upside. Let's go ahead and just measure this to the upside. Would have been over a 10% move additional to the 6% that is currently up. And actually in addition to the 6% is currently up, it really would have represented an overall move of 23 to 24% on the day. Would have been a nice strong move for Ape. So we want to we talked about Ape while it was getting listed on the various exchanges. So we want to we want to go through some of the price action tonight as it develops, and we spend some time. We're going to be discussing it in the back anyway, I promise. So we're going to have it on the screen, be able to talk about it, just chill for a bit. The circumstance on Luna. Let's go to the 4 hourly, see what we can see in terms of the 4 hourly. It's just this move on BTC really reminded me of this specific function here, right? On the 4 hourly, clearly like a flag, pull to the upside, but just stacking over turns into more of a channel trade or a measured move. So as you look at these particular moves, is it a bull flag? Yes, it is. What would have been really impressive for a Luna would have been this recognition of this degree of a flagpole with a move to the upside here, right? But again, those proportions were out of step, okay? And I talk about the key proportions as I look to, and I'll just reframe back to, let me get back to that drawing I was just making, just to kind of go over the technicals a bit. Talking about the ideal formation, see if I can get back to, we'll just talk about the ideal formation for a bull flag on BTC. Is going to include, in looking at the 30-minute again, just so we reframe this, we're going to be looking for a degree or a ratio. I'd say a ratio, an even keeled ratio in line with expectations in terms of what the flagpole to the downward sloping channel is going to be. What's that relationship? Well, it's not going to be like this, okay? It's not going to be a one-on-one circumstance. It wouldn't. The entirety of the pattern would change. The smaller that the flagpole is, the easier it's going to be. I'm going to say this: the more difficult it's going to be for the traders to trade it, okay? Because the smaller that the flagpole is, okay, when this is tucked down to, let's say, is trading from the line of support in terms of the replication of the flagpole, okay, the replication of the flagpole would go to the upside. By the time the traders are able to determine that there's a breakout of confirmation and time to enter, you're literally leaving such a small window of an opportunity to really trade in here, it just gets too difficult. Okay, so the same can be said if we even had a longer flagpole. And this is why the proportions are very difficult. It's good to discuss it in line with what makes sense when you're trading. And if you've traded, you know this, you know the answer. The longer flagpole and the longer let's say the longer that the actual channel is to the downside, let's say with like a mid-level flagpole, what we run into is the circumstance to where we're barely creating a higher high. A bull flag is supposed to be an extremely bullish event. This worked out well in terms of the candle wick to the upside. I'm just still not a fan, for the record, of a really long, and it may be that just part of it is hidden in the framework of the candle to line transition on the chart. But if you were to show me this specific bull flag, and tell me is that a clean technical bull flag, I would stray from defining this as a really strong, and now we discussed it as a bull flag in the back, etc. But I would just really stray from defining that as a bull flag. I would hesitate to really do that, given the ideal componentry of a bull flag to be more in line with something along the lines of this. Okay, it's just the anticipation is bullish activity, more price creation, less time spent consolidating. The problem when you come down this far, stacking the target on top of the support really, as you would look at this, really compromises a lot of the move to the upside. You can see the differences here, but the move to the upside being in this area, okay, just a lower overall move, right? So aside from even the trading, it's like we want the price to increase, right? This compromises, this type of move compromises the increase in price. We spent more time going sideways and down in the channel than we did, than what allowed for a larger rise in price, as in this example would demonstrate. I think that's if you guys trade, you understand that, or the dynamics of the repeating the flagpole, boom, repeating the flagpole. Well, so it's not as advantageous for the bulls, right, or for the market participants, in my opinion. We want the price to move, right, and we want it to. It's fine if it goes up. It's fine if it goes down. Do one or the other for us. Typically would be the notion. So looking at the Ape coin, just we were discussing kind of the potential of Ember's Head and Shoulders. Doesn't look like that wants to play. That's okay. We're right now looking at, and I want to stream some of it because a lot of you traded it, if not all of you traded Ape coin. You can tell me that you didn't, and if you didn't, you missed out on some money, I'll tell you. So it was a good moving coin in terms of price action. Excited always to bring a coin with price action to the VIP or to the community. And shout out to Luke, shout out to Slim, shout out to Craig, shout out to AJ Crypto, shout out to Richard Rio, shout out to Vlad. What's up, Vladimir? Hope you're doing well, brother. Hope everything's going well, brother. I want to see some more fighting videos. Sincerely, I want to see some more racing videos. Sincerely, I hope you're doing well, my man. What's going on? Shoot me a DM. Let me know what's going on. In terms of the trading, I hope it's going well. I was doing some Bollinger Himuchi Cloud stuff today, and I was like, what's Vlad doing, man? I don't know where Vlad is, but I hope he's doing well. Busy guy. Big business guy, I think. So in terms of that, he's a stud of a VIP. So we appreciate having him and anyone else who would like to join the trade group. It's a VIP group. That's just it. And shout out to Angel on top. What's up, brother? Number one. Probably one of the number one traders in crypto. I don't even need to really ask or qualify it. Probably just invested in Bitcoin at $7.79. And that's just awesome. Angel, hope you're well. Appreciate those videos from the family time. It was just awesome. Thanks for including me in those videos in terms of sending them to me. Very, very cool stuff. Your girl can shoot hoops. You guys don't know. She is the next. I have no. Just phenomenon. She can shoot hoops. I mean, you'll look at her like, are you kidding me? She just keeps making the buckets. It's very interesting. And then Angel's like, well, I played a little bit when I was younger. I'm like, your daughter just made like 15. She's young enough to go to the whatever the play stores where they have the little automated hoops and stuff, like your daughter just made 15 baskets in a row. I think you did probably play when you were younger. So to the extent that that's some phenomenon, I don't know if that happens all the time, Angel. We're going to get her a scout. I actually know a few good scouts or a few good agents. We'll get her a sports agent early. And, yeah, we can I got you covered on that front, I promise. Don't even worry about it. So, sports agent, that'd be cool. Youngest female athlete to have a sports agent. If you guys see her hoop, maybe we'll show that video at some point. It's just like, good gosh, the girl just made like 20 shots in a row. Literally just boom, 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 boom. I'm like, good gosh, pretty impressive. So, yeah, Ape having some difficulties in terms of the price action, up about 5.52%. I'd imagine a lot of people got in long here, and that may be part of what's driving the market in terms of, I mean, how could you not go long in a position like that when, you know, it's just a clear inverse head and shoulders? Just buyers unable to complete that to the upside. Just very unfortunate to see. I was really looking forward to Ape producing some additional positive price action. It looks like it is currently going down. I imagine a lot of people are releasing their position, and to the extent that they are, of course, the typical snapback would be almost immediately watching it go to the upside. So to the extent that you're about to experience that or in the process of experiencing that, I apologize. That's never fun to watch or to experience. So the leverage option probably has a few of you a little bit more tightly wound, potentially on maybe doubling down, hopefully. And by tightly wound, just paying attention to things like, well, I'll cover my downside position. Maybe got into a light position here. Maybe got into a short. You know, whenever everyone got into a long, maybe you liked the descending triangle notion quite a bit. Looks to be almost a repeat of the previous session here. We'll just look at this in terms of Ape. What can we learn in terms of technical analysis? Let's just look at this. Just pretty clearly demonstrated in terms of the price function or action there, to the extent that we would have like a classic Elliott wave formation surrounding of the price action. Okay, that's it's not perfectly indicated with the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 starting from, like I'd say with evenly spaced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'd have to count this hits, this first level kind of bull flag as a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, but we do have that rounding feature, right? Just that we're seeing here, the step up, right? In terms of the replication of that, looks like we have that same kind of step up. Will we get and receive another, I'd say this secondary hit here to traject back up at least? That would be a nice move to see completed. In terms of we have a few different options in terms of pattern formations right now that we can deal with. There are other charts that we can dig into as well. Want to catch BTC? Looks like it could be. I'm not going to take my eye off BTC. Looks like now she may be trying to break out of her descending triangle on the. And let's just make sure these lines are good and tight. And I tighten those up. Always tighten my lines up after I go to a different time frame. The 5-minute, no, she's still contained within. They've been on the 30. Let's see, we are on the 1-minute time frame. 1-minute time frame. Yeah, we have a lot of variation on the 1-minute time frame. I've been working with the new Trading View application. I'm not sure if you guys have downloaded that on your phone, but I've been working on that new Trading View application, and it's got so many time frames. It's got I'm not sure if it has all the time frames I've ever put into the application, but it's just got a lot going on that I'm kind of impressed with. So looking at the particulars here on Bitcoin, let's just cover this. Let's do this just for fun. Let's try and create a parallel channel here and see if we can come into, I think we're going to fail on the attempt to turn this into or interpret it as a bull flag. We do have a pennant formation. So on the 1-minute, that's a bit more bullish than, now granted, we are amidst this line of resistance. That's what's holding the market back just a bit right now. We're amidst that line of resistance, that preceding hit here at the $40,053. The preceding hits here at the 41,300 to 41,000, just above that 400. These hits here, this line of resistance, rising wedge, right? That long channel cut of the bull flag was an indication something was being filled out in the middle zone, right? That is the rising wedge. So to the extent that that is that we are in the, I just say that to the extent that that is a bearish pattern and that we are at this cross trend line, it bears repeating. It bears like a full discussion, and we could do charts in the back, etc. But I'll just tell you, it helps to just kind of talk it out. It's real simple if we just focus on it. And maybe you guys have your trades going on in the background. Like, I'll just leave London on while I'm, doing my pricing targets or looking at my patterns, looking through the coins, etc. That's a pleasure for me to be a part of your evening. And VIP, what's up? Want to make sure that you guys are doing well. I bring you the best TA possible. Staying on top of the market is a little easier, I got to say, with the guys in the back. Just you guys are all over the market. You know your coins. You know which ones went up and had good price action. We can communicate well. It's just nice. You guys you're on it. It's nice to see. Movie Block had a real heavy day yesterday, didn't it? What did Movie Block do today? You guys know. It's a relatively phenomenal coin in terms of the move to the upside. Origin, I will tell you guys, there's a phenomenon. I don't know what it is, but if someone drops into this room and says, "Hey, what do you think about such and such coin?" I'm not kidding. It will fly through the roof. I normally delete them, but I just noticed even when I delete them or whatever it is, they'll come and say, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And then boom, it'll go take off to the upside. So very interesting in terms of Origin up 22%. And I did look that up, and I was like, okay, because I didn't really trade it on the way up. I have to be honest, I did not trade it. It was one of those that kind of passed underneath the radar in terms of what I thought was really an attractive coin. But it was what it was. Looking at, I want to look at Movie Block because it really had a strong day. I want to see how impressive I was short. It wound up being MBL. Not much of an impressive short. Let's look at the overall candle wick. Just powering through. Look at this price action. Just impressive price action. Looking at the 4-hourly, just impressive price action from the get-go. Let's just look at this. A lot of volatility though. Drops of 40%. Yeah, a lot of volatility. 2 drops of 40% amidst the way up here. Multiple. There's 112% on the initial. This one here. In contact with the 200 and the 100 moving average on the 4-hourly, 140%, up 10% again tonight, and with this hitch, and just let's see at the candle wicks, almost got back to that 100. Used the 100 as support. 100 launched off the 100, hasn't wanted to touch the 200, but what's some price action? 3 hits of 300% in the last, or 100% each, that is, in the last 12 days. So yeah, Movie Block has been off just off the chain. Just very impressive. A little bit of a broadening wedge here. See if bulls can push that up. I'll look at the 30 minutes. Yeah, that's going to be a consistently difficult potential pattern to trade. 5 minutes a little bit better as we would look at a somewhat of a wedge. All right, we go to the 1 minute or the candle wicks to see if potentially we might have something a bit different or more. And it's still going to be we're going to be in a wedge. So that's a confirmation off of the wedge. Just aggressive price action for anyone who's decided to trade MBL. Very interesting flat top. We look for a flat top on the 30 minute, something along the lines of could we have an ascending triangle? Always looking for some sort of a flat top. Just indicate not a double top, but that flat top required for an ascending triangle. And MBL is starting to run a little bit from 10 to about 12.47%. Just phenomenal price action. The preceding intermittent high is going to be one of the key thresholds or key hurdles, I'll say, to beat. That's just that is impressive. That's nice to see. We'll see. She may continue to roll. Let's see what we got here in terms of the additional. Just want to cover some coins, see where the price action is. OGN again, 25%. SRM had a good launch after the day. We're seeing a few in that 10 to 20, 25% range, which is nice. Those are the days we start to enjoy and to expect in a good market. So to the extent that we start to see some of those days here now, that's great. ADA up about 2%. Let's go back. BTC up 0.23% now, about a quarter of a point. 1/4 of a point. Doge off 0.17. At Doge holding strong at 1189 right now, just FYI. Looking at the BTC chart, let's take a look at, let's do this. I guess we had gone to the candle wicks. Yes, candle wick to line variation. Big deal right now. So on the candle wicks, we have a breakout. On the actual lines, we do not. It's because we had such a phenomenal rise to the upside in terms of that nice trajectory up. Congratulations to the VIP. It's like everyone booked a trade. Bam, their orders got filled. I was really excited to see that. That was just nice to be in the back. I was stepping out of a meeting, in and out of a meeting, and VIP were telling me, like, yep, just booked my trade, just closed it, bam. Just phenomenal. Really happy to be a part of that trade group. I appreciate that, guys. Very cool stuff. You guys are cool. In terms of the, let's say, probably just stick with the lines right now. It's going to be a, and 0.26. Let me go to the 1 minute time frame. Let's just go to the 1 minute time frame and resolve as much as we can here between the actual lines and the candle wicks. Safe to say we're out on the 1 minute, including the drop down on the 1 minute, which we have. It doesn't show up at all on the 5 minute. I'd be cautious of that, right? It doesn't show up at all in the 5 minutes. And that candle, that Bitcoin is used as kind of its secret weapon. You guys know this. Bitcoin has been using as its secret weapon some real heavy volatility, jolts here and there to distract from the conformance of the patterns. You guys agree? There have been some really heavy moves up or down to ruin some really predictable patterns. To throw in, all it takes is one real heavy velocity move on on all the time frames, but and thereafter on one or two of the time frames to start exhibiting different patterns, and before you know it, you're right in the middle of a risky trade with some heavy degrees of uncertainty. You guys know this, right? It's just it's beyond question. It's just throw in a heavy amount of volatility, throw in a strong spike, bam, into the price action that few people will catch. Some people with orders waiting will catch it, right? If you have your orders set, you'll catch it, you'll profit. But to the extent that it completely ruins a beautiful pattern with, really strong expectations for the traders, it's like, well, that's it is happening almost continually in the market. So we have Ape on the left. What's happening this evening, guys, is London. I hope you guys are doing well. It is Friday. What is going on? The weekend is here. You guys you deserve a good weekend. VIP's in the house. All the base campers, hope you're doing well. Hope life's treating you fine. If you are working, I hope that it is working out. If it is not working out, I hope that you are working on working somewhere else. How about that? In 2022, I hope you guys get all that you deserve and have worked hard for. That is coming your way, and that should be a lot of good. So, looking forward to hearing some great stories in 2022 from all you guys. So, the framework here in terms of Ape, I don't want to overcomplicate things too much. Right now, I'm going to leave this in the framework of a descending triangle with some bullish expressions. Let's focus on the bullish expressions. Why not? As we look at the 5 minute here, look at the inverse head and shoulder potential. I think that's a nice. I know that's a nice pattern to work with. If you are a bull, it is not as preferable as a clear bull flag. It's not as preferable as a clear bull pennant, right? Those would be the top two. Bull flag, number one. Bull pennant, maybe bull pennant number one, depending upon the level of velocity, right? The level of velocity is going to the level of aggressive price action. How aggressive is the price? Is it really slamming, into? And we'll just go through this, but on a bull pennant, bam, 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 it's out, right? Really aggressive on a smaller time frame. The more aggressive, the better. Just get in, let us work the price action, and bam, let's get up and go. We had that price action on the way up with Ape last night. Boom, nice move to the upside. We had the drop as well, and on the way up, you guys know it was pushing, pushing, pushing. And to see that kind of price action really consolidate where it's really strong patterning, that's the that's the creme de la creme. That's the first class kind of ticket to profit. So looking at BTC up out of its descending triangle. Now, they're not easy to beat. I don't want to sit here and naysay this breakout at all, but descending triangles are not favored amongst amongst the bulls. Okay, so we have some differentiated patterns. Again, this is where the volatility comes into play. Is there a right answer? You're, to the extent that it's just interpretive, I'll say this. Some people won't touch the 1 minute, okay? This is the answer. Some people won't touch the 1 minute time frame. Other people won't touch the 5 minute time frame. Some people won't touch the lines at all. Some people won't touch the candles at all. You'll have successful traders within each group of those, of the ones that don't want to trade on the 5 minute, the ones that do not want to trade on the 1 minute, or the ones that do not want to trade on the candle wicks, or the ones that do not want to trade on the line chart. They're exclusive to the candles, or exclusive to the line, exclusive to the 5 minute, or exclusive to the 1 minute. You'll find the lot of them, okay? So interesting, kind of an interesting dynamic that we see playing out here with on the left-hand side. As you would look at the descending triangle on the left, let's just say the framework of the descending triangle on the left, we had a breakout here before we got into the formation of this inverse head and shoulder and pushed along. I'd just say a relative line of resistance right now without getting into the different time frames, etc. Okay, this framework we were presented with earlier on, we noted in the VIP, okay, it looks like a descending triangle, right? That was in play. To the extent that we're looking at that on BTC, to an extent, Ape really acted as a precursor today in the price action that VIP saw, that we saw in the back trading, in terms of this specific framework, the level of resistance, level of support, right? Level of resistance, level of support. We'll go to the and that's on the let's go. No, I don't want to do that. Let's go here. And I knew this was not on the 5 minute. Let's go to the 5 minute. So when you see something like this, okay, and it could be argued whether or not we would need an additional level or hit up here, which makes it complicates, I'd say, the question a bit here on the left, right? Well, would we need another hit up here, right? We have a move to the upside, down, essentially 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So either they're, I'd say, relatively well constructed to, if not in time, I'd say they're matched up. Let's say that, beyond getting to correlations, because I don't want to talk about them being correlated, given a new coin, etc. It's a different discussion. But to the extent that we have a nice breakout on BTC of a descending triangle, we've been noticing these on the micro and on different coins, micro on BTC and on the different coins, with with it in mind as to, okay, we'll be trading, in the back we'll be trading a specific descending triangle, and I'll bring up to them, like, be aware of the fact that we're in, say, a descending triangle, not only right here, but also as we would look at BTC in the macro, let's say on the 4 hourly, be aware that we're in a descending triangle. We've broken out of a descending triangle, still, worth discussing to this degree. And yes, we're out, up and above it, and we're well out, up and above it right now. We still haven't conquered the previous intermittent high, so that's notable, right? That's one of the major hurdles, is that previous high, as well as this cross trend line, support, this small resistance, which will clarify up on the daily, certainly, to a clear support, and resistance, right? That line's hugely consequential right now, just as a matter of fact. Don't have to debate it, don't have to argue it, don't fight it, just accept it. It's a crucial line right now, okay? And so the burden of the descending triangle, is it relieved? Bottom line, is it relieved with a push down, and does the volatility help? I would say that the volatility helps. The hit down to the 50% does help the case for us to express a bullish pattern. I'd say to the extent that we are within the resistance, or at the level of resistance on Bitcoin, of this specified, let's look at this, of the specified rising wedge here, just a hugely somewhat difficult time for traders. I tell you, as you would look at this, it is not preferable. It's not a preferable setup for trading. Now, I know a lot of people that looking at a specific rising wedge, they'd love to be short, right? Particularly if it's up against an additional line of resistance. Now, you who trade frequently, okay, VIP, etc., you know, I mean, this is preaching to the choir here. In terms of rising wedges, sure, you know, for the most part, you'll get a rising wedge. Its placement may, I'd say, provide some variety to these kind of general principles, right? But you may get a nice rising wedge, right? You may get something along the lines of this, and then you may get this. All the VIP knows. Everybody trades knows this. You may get something like this. Literally. And then you may just find yourself, boom, right back onto it. Those can be so costly if you don't know the patterning and aren't aware of the fact that, yes, it'll like to operate up and above wherever you're at. It may be stretched a bit like that or like that even, right? So as you are prepared for a rising wedge, probabilities, I don't have to say anything. If you trade a lot, you know what these can do. It's just the bottom line. Can you get surprised by one? Of course, without a doubt. Are we ready to be surprised by one? We would welcome the opportunity to be surprised by one, without a doubt, right? Just goes without saying, wouldn't you say? Wouldn't you say? Trying to get an equivalent pickup on Ape real quickly. Very not an ideal position for Ape, but we do have an inverse head and shoulders. That's a potential reversal pattern. Could go to the upside. We've already measured for about, what is this here? About 11% to the upside. So vary about 11 to 12% really. And from the actual position, I'd say this, from the actual current price, it's not a guarantee that it'll play. You guys know that. But in terms of the move to the upside, potential really 15% indicated to the upside right now. Could be a decent move on some leverage if she can get leverage, I said, if she can get up and going. Come on now. What do you got going on with Ape? What do you got? Bring the heat, Ape. Where is your price action? You just got listed on practically every major exchange. Where is that price action? Where's the aggressive buyers? They got to be lined up. They've got to be lined up. I'm imagining they do have a relatively large market cap right now. Not too huge. What are they, 40? Around 40 or so. Brought it to VIP. It's probably adjusted since last night. But, yeah, it's nothing to balk at. It's a decently launched coin. We're interested in trading it to the extent it continues to have good price action. I'll leave that open for everybody if we would like to trade it. If it continues to express positive price action, we are there, period. Right? BTC is right here, period. We like to trade Bitcoin for a lot of reasons. One of the reasons being when we start focusing too much on another coin, Bitcoin will rip to the upside, and all of us are like, dang, we should have just focused on Bitcoin. So I got tired of having those moments. And yes, there are some screaming altcoins and this and that. People make a ton of cash, everything else, but there's just something really gratifying about catching Bitcoin when it's in its prime move. It just is. And there's not that you need to be trading, 5 Bitcoin at a time or whatever the price consideration. Don't let that intimidate you. I just said, matter of factly, don't let the price of Bitcoin intimidate you at all. You can trade on leverage. You don't need to at all. It's a great learning mechanism. As you look at Bitcoin, it's a great learning mechanism. For price action, it's the core of crypto. It's like the core of crypto, pretty much. So, that, and we can have the argument as to Ethereum, etc. So, to the extent that that's not really what the nature of the discussion is, we're excited that Ape is out and that there is a cool community behind it, and they had some cool framework to bring around a different dynamic this year in the launch of the coin. We're always looking for that new dynamic. We want that next Elon coin, or that next even Baby Doge, or that next Floki, or that next Ape, or that next whatever it is, we want to trade it. Not just out of the gates and, okay, it's up 100% and, okay, great, next. We'll pay attention to this for a while. If it capitulates down, like severely down, we are going to pay more attention to it. I'll just tell you that. Maybe it goes to the back burner with some orders below it, but we'll have its attention during any type of retracement that it exhibits, because it has a big community. It has the trappings of something that's going to cycle, okay? It's just going to cycle. I'm going to tell you guys, if I'm wrong, come back and say, you know what, London, it didn't cycle. I'll say, darn, it didn't cycle. All right, so 150% the first day. I will bet you guys I can lay out pricing targets right now, and you can look at the pricing targets in 6 months, and my pricing targets will still be right, and they'll be producing. I will bet you, I will. And for VIP, you know me. I'll bet you that the pricing targets I lay out right now on this coin, in 6 months, they'll still be producing trades of 40 to 50% gains on spot. No one in our group would bet me. They could do it too, and they've seen it continually. When something starts with good price action, we've seen it so many times. I will bring up an old chart, and we will look at it, and I will explain to people those were the pricing targets from way back when, from a long time ago, before this recent run given to the VIP, right? As we would look at SHIB is within that dynamic, right? Pricing targets for VIP on SHIB. Let me see if SHIB is currently past its 786, isn't she? So those are the types of, let me just look at an example of, and you guys don't need to, I mean, VIP, no, it's like, that is what it is. In terms of the, like, and typically you'll know my pricing targets. It'll be charts that look like this right here, and those will be the stacked pricing targets, right? And looking at the framework of preceding target work, bam, they last, they hit, they work, they catch, they roll, they're solidly. I do them based upon solid dynamics in terms of technical analysis. So they last. It's not a sales pitch. It's just a fact. So it's cool that we have that dynamic that the VIP, and anyone in the VIP can do it as well. I may have a few other angles or just a few other ideas I throw into the mix in terms of my specific patterns or my specific targets, but essentially there's no hidden skill. A lot of it's hard work, application of TA, and we just spend the time required to, and I do hold on to the old charts quite frequently, so that's part of it too. Just hold on to your own charts, and I'm sure that you'll be in the same boat. Not exclusive, oh, look at me, just, it's not that complicated. You may have two, like we have in the current situation on Bitcoin, you may have two, I say circumstances where two, let's say levels of Fibonacci's within one designated zone. No problem. All right, so you have a few more pricing targets. That's fine. So if you wanted to lay out really all of your targets in this zone, you would just, do your Fibonacci targets, boom, boom, boom. And within a period of, 10, 15 seconds, you would have, let's say on the macro, boom. There you go, guys. Those are our pricing targets. Literally, you can do that. We do this at times. I spend more time, of course, on them for the VIP, but we have targets that play for literally 6 months, literally 8 months, literally, like, they're just solid. It's a solid approach, and it's not that self-fulfilling prophecy that some people say that TA is. No, they're just technically indicated. It's just, institutionally recognized levels. So looking at Ape, Ape's not giving it to the market. Man, huh? Trying to pick up that equivalent bottom here. I don't want to be right on my video. I did a video. I just don't want to be right on it, just so that you guys know that's not my intention when I bring like a video in terms of ApeCoin, urgent, drop incoming, urgent, potential bull trap, right, on Bitcoin. It's just, I don't know. I would just say that it's not my intention to be right. It's just my intention to bring the technicals to the community, to the community, to the VIP, etc. You guys know that I'm never going to apologize for the technicals. I don't have an angle. I don't have and you guys don't either. Like, if you ever bring me something that's really bearish, just bring it to me. Just, is it technically indicated? Period. I do not mind at all, and I know you guys don't either. So that is what it is. The technicals are what they are. We don't make apologies for that. We're an exclusive group. We know what we're doing, and that's just that is the truth. So that works. In terms of, let's see, the descending line of resistance on the 5 minute for BTC on the lines looks like it has relatively been respected. Some people probably got faked out with that specific attempt at launch on the 5 minute. Again, variability on every time frame. A little bit of a fake out on that top line of resistance. Okay, a little bit of operation up and above. We had a pretty strong move up. You just see these levels of volatility here, though. One with the big drop down, etc. My thought is this: people on BTC just went short and maybe stuck in a short. People on ApeCoin were just lured into a long and maybe stuck long. So in BTC, there's it's just in BTC, what I would say is these are both bearish patterns. BTC may have you a bit more protected to the downside, assuming the lines stick, right? And you're just gonna have, you're gonna have to play it on breakout. Never be overexposed to any higher price. These are kind of tricky patterns to the extent that we had some good velocity to the upside. No bull is going to be real attracted to a descending triangle on top. I'm going to tell you guys that, just so you know. Will they trade it? Sure. But to the extent that it represents a bearish pattern, such is understood. All right. And I don't know. I hope a lot of the VIP traded. I know that the VIP traded Ape and got some great entries on Ape, etc. So congrats to all the VIP that traded. Very, very cool. And they may be busy out partying. They may be in Vegas. They may be, who knows at this point in terms of where all the VIP may be. And I say that they may be having a good time. That's okay. Be careful if you guys are. Just be careful and take care of yourself and take care of the pit boss if you're at the tables and you win. That's all I'll say. They may keep a smile on your face with more earnings. Who knows? Just in terms of VIP, bad habit, they go to the casinos. It's just, that happens sometimes. So some really technical guys in the back right now. Just want to let you guys know that with Luke, first and foremost, he's been there a long time. Great at charts. Slim and Pathfinder have shown up with a little bit of Doge fury to them, and they are doing extraordinarily sophisticated and competent charts. Craig is in the back doing, like, I'll just see him like throw up Fibonacci's faster than anybody. And for people who appreciate the technicals involved, it's like, well, that's really most of the ball game right there. If you can just remind yourself or other people, hey, hit your targets, right? What are your targets? It's crucial. So it's nice to see from you, Craig. And let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, I did skip last night. Just to let you guys know, I had an early gig this morning in terms of a meeting, so I had to go to that, and I just cut a quick video on, and we cut that on I wanted just to show everyone the weekly, because we hadn't really covered it that much, that weekly, and it's important that on the weekly we did break out of the pattern that was ongoing. So let's go ahead and note that for the record. In terms of that weekly, real nice on Bitcoin, the price operation at the 100 moving average. Very nice to see that in terms of the overall, let's say, the level of support that it offers. The importance on the chart that it offers in the different time frames, pardon me, is just couldn't be overstated. Just really important. Level of resistance, level of support. We are up and above this specific line of resistance. However, it is in a bearish pattern. So we're looking forward to seeing how this specific hit across the top. You guys see, huh? Level of resistance, level of support on the weekly chart for Bitcoin. I'm looking forward to seeing how this resolves as we're in and you guys see it, as we're in a potentially, a pattern that could potentially just break to the downside. So that could be really important as you look at where is that weekly pivot going to be And it's just so funny. So, such short time ago, we had such a clear trade, no problem. Everybody just in their position and boom, booking trades, right? And now it's like, now we have too many time frames, too many, immediately the market gets back at you. It's like, okay, now we have to wait for the weekly potential hitch here on or pivot at the line of resistance, right? So it is the market. It'll continually challenge you. For those of you who can keep up with it, particularly crypto, I am impressed. That is awesome. And it's one thing that makes our group really extraordinary. It's not just a bunch of guys cutting up in a Reddit or what you call a Discord or Telegram. It's really not. It's guys with a lot of talent, and it's really cool to see. So that's a cool group for me to be a part of and to be able to kind of host in the back there. You guys are doing an awesome job. What I will do, since Ape isn't doing that much, we can sit and wait for Ape, etc. I think what I'll do is cruise to the back, and I will probably be trading with the VIP. We have caught so many good moves. It's not that I haven't been bringing the strong moves to the entirety of the community. I want to let you guys know that first and foremost, but I am giving that information, and we're discussing all that information directly with VIP in the back. The trades, the pickups, the this and that, the targets, everything. We're really technically hammering into the market right now. So I don't know. To the extent that there's like the perk aspect is kind of going on, that it's just that's the group that we have. So it's good to get around and chat around public stream, no problem. But to the extent that we choose to stream Ape more in the future, we'll probably wait for some additional stronger price action. I thought, well, you want to break out of the inverse head and shoulders. Ape just disappointing right now. Just Ape, we expect everybody wants a 5x. A 10x, is that too much to ask? Like, can we get a 10x right out of the go? I mean, out of the shoot here? Is that's not too much to ask. I mean, the $1 million Bored Ape Yacht Club NFTs, like, come on. I mean, they can't just douse the market, liquidate into the market, I would expect, some class with the entirety of the operation of the coin. So I won't be, I'm not going to be critical of it. It just had a beautiful day, first day in the market. To the extent that it is done and it starts to retrace, well, yeah, Ape's going to have to stand in line, and it'll be a long line at that point in terms of overall attention. It does have the price action to the upside, so it will have additional future price action. Mark my words, from Fibonacci's, etc., it will have its specified future price action. Just it will. It'll have nice hits. It'll have eventual overall cycle to it, etc., assuming the floor doesn't implode on it. I don't anticipate that happening, but I will state that as a possibility. Who knows? Who knows if the floor may just implode? I'm not going to, there's no guarantee in crypto. So anything could happen. Will it happen? I doubt that. But who knows? Maybe they'll get, I'm not going to speculate, but it could get bad quickly. Might as well, just talk it now. Like Ape, I don't think it's just going to explode or go to zero, but it could happen very quickly if it decides to happen. Just turn into an absolute FUD machine here, because can't you do something with the price? It's like, I'm not going to do that either. That's me joking, by the way. Huh? What am I supposed to say? Like, isn't inverse head and shoulders can, get in the exchanges wrap their head around the fact that it's a bullish pattern. It's supposed to go up after it breaks out. Same thing with BTC tonight. It's like Friday night. Let's mess with the traders. It's like nice pour down from the still very well formed. Well, if you don't go to the candle wicks, right? But the nice descending triangle. It's like it broke down to lure people into it to reframe itself. Same thing with Ape tonight. It broke out to reform itself into a bearish pattern. At least BTC has you well structured, and that may be a good lesson here as you look at Ape. Very interesting, huh? Because Ape lured some people out with a potential breakout to the inverse head and shoulders to move to the upside. Okay, so some people could be stuck in a long position on Ape in a bearish pattern. Okay. Now, BTC lured in shorts with a false breakout to the downside, and at least it did it while maintaining a bearish pattern. at least on the lines, right, on the 5 minute. To the extent that that is compromised, that whole notion is compromised by the fact, well, now we have a wedge, and that's interesting to incorporate the this additional, and there's going to be some play here on the top wherever you decide that to be. But to the extent now that we have, let's do this on this specific move here, and these just become kind of messy technicals to a degree, and you guys know this. It's like when the candle wicks, these moments of volatility just can ruin your day on technicals. This is a solid technical right now. When we start going back and forth saying, well, we prefer the kind of a hidden wedge on the, sometimes it's clear, like, yes, we want to include the candle wicks. Right now, this is just more of a, I guess the candle wick interpretation would be the following. We drop down into a wedge and are up and out of the wedge on the candle wicks. I think that would be the primary interpretation of the candle wicks and the volatility to the downside as potentially having looped in traders the wrong way as well, if you're following me. The volatility to the downside, okay, looped in or attracted the shorts, right, and thereby also formulated a descending wedge. Okay, push the lower componentry from flat to descending. Okay, so to the extent that caught, we were in a bullish feature, which is in the process of confirming, right, along the level of resistance. And so I guess you could say that there was a potential for a kind of gotcha now event, lure, or whipsaw on both of the coins. Not ideal, but definitely within the framework of crypto. Like, if that hasn't happened to you, or you haven't seen it happen multiple times throughout the week or sometimes a day, then you're probably not trading very much. So a good reminder to all of us to really think your patterns out, to not jump the gun back and forth, to not click and click and click, right? It's not, we need, as we were waiting today for further pattern development along the top, patiently waiting, and VIP in the back stating that this is the pattern development we were waiting for. That's a nice pattern to trade on the lines. It's very solid. The 1 minute has the differentiation now. So to the extent that that's a 1 minute breakout of a wedge, and so be it. That's what the volatility just did in terms of the breakdown of a pretty, clearly well-confirmed, bearish pattern. So to the extent that there are orders below on the targets, that's the framework we put things into. Buy at support, sell at resistance, trade your patterns, and hit your target. So it could have easily just been, I'm impressed by VIP in the back, just saying I have my fibs stacked, right? That's just simple stuff. And you can do that with your long or short coins, your 5 or 3 L or S. You can stack those on fibs as well. And to the extent that you've got just pure spot trading, or long or short in futures, of course you can do that as well. So what I'll do is let's head to the back. Just wanted to say hello because it's been a long day for me. I got up very early and apologize for not streaming at all last night. And I will attempt to maybe do something tomorrow afternoon or something earlier so that we can get a little bit more of a crowd. I know it was late tonight. I had to go eat. I just had to. It had been a really long day for me, so I appreciate you guys just being patient with me. And yeah, we only need an exclusive group here is fine with us. In fact, it's preferred. There's a reason we have it on the top there. And in terms of exclusive VIP, that is the way that we prefer to have it. So we'll continue to look at the pattern formation on Ape. Interesting to note with the push here and the fake out here, that potentially got the longs going in a descending triangle, a bearish pattern, and with the push here and volatility, that would be on Ape, and a push here on the volatility of the stretch to the, this is crypto, guys. It's the stretch into the push into the descending wedge, to the extent that was created by that fake out. Now you have shorts into a bearish pattern. So, and that's just crypto, guys. So as great of a day as it has been for VIP and everything else, we just don't leave out that and hit your targets, right? So it's a full scope approach and strategy. I'm excited to see crypto in play and we'll continue to be trading in the back. You guys hit me up with a DM or any other type of message. Angel, text me if you need anything, brother. This is London. We will be live a little bit earlier at a more agreeable time for everybody, and just to kind of bring up the nature of where we're at on these specific coins, I think is crucial, and because we've been trading them. So if nothing more, just a shout out to VIP and say congratulations on your profits. Huge profits, guys. Great job over the preceding 24, 48 hours, preceding week. Plus, it's been really nice to see you guys hitting your trades and just killing it in the market. We'll expect a great weekend here. We're just getting started, so I'll be in the back with you guys soon. This is London with